quarterback under center for New York. The Giants announced that rookie Daniel Jones will be getting the starting nod on Sunday, replacing Eli Manning following the team's 0-2 start. In a statement through the team website, head coach Pat Shurmur said he had talked to both quarterbacks this morning regarding Eli's reaction to the news. Shurmur said this: Eli and I spoke this morning. I told him that we are making a change and going with Daniel as the starter. I also talked to Daniel. Eli was obviously disappointed, as you would expect, but he said he would be what he has always been, a good teammate, and continue to prepare to help this team win games. So, Shannon, when you think about Eli's career, what are you going to remember?
Skip, he's a two-time Super Bowl winning quarterback. He's a two-time Super Bowl MVP. Skip, he went on two historic great runs in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But outside of that, he's been a very average quarterback. Eli made the playoffs 6 times. Outside of those 2 playoff runs, he never won a playoff game. He's only went to the playoff once since that 2010, the last time they beat the Patriots in the playoffs. He's a 500 quarterback, 116 up, 116 down. He's led the NFL 3 times in INTs. And Eli Manning, Skip, is going to make the Hall of Fame off of 2 great playoff runs.
Really?
I do. I do, Skip. I'm just because
usher him right into the Hall of Fame.
Skip, I'm not a voter. I'm in the Hall of Fame, and I used to think I knew what a Hall of Famer was, but obviously I don't anymore. But quarterbacks that win the MVP in that game, they normally get to the Hall of Fame. And he beat a 16-0 team that many thought were unbeatable, and he beat them. No matter what you think about Saturday, Skip Bayless, he did do that.
I could make a case the defense beat Tom Brady.
I would concur on that conclusion. But Skip, Eli Manning has been a very average quarterback. His numbers say that. His win-loss records say that. But he had 2 historic runs. He went 4-0, and outside of that, he's 0-4. So I wish I can give you more than that and says, okay, would you do yada yada? No. Eli had 2 great runs. Other than that, he's been a very average quarterback.
This is simply the weirdest career in NFL history. There's never been anything like this, and I will suggest there never will be anything like this, because we all start with the perspective of he is the son of Archie Manning, and he is the little brother of Peyton Manning. So he is established as NFL royalty on the day he's drafted.
Yep.
Correct?
Yep.
Sure.
And then you start throwing out the numbers. And if you take out the 2 magical runs to the Super Bowls, and he didn't just win the Super Bowl, he slayed Tom Brady twice.
Yes.
In his career, he's 3-2 against Tom Brady. And he won another game that was a big deal to the old show I was on ESPN, but it was back on November 6th of 2011. The Giants played at Foxborough, and he out-dueled him again.
Yep.
And threw a touchdown pass to Jake Ballard at the buzzer, 15 seconds left, to beat Tom Brady in his house.
Yep.
So he was a Brady killer.
Yep.
And other than that, I can even make the case he was below average. You led this league in interceptions 3 times? Really? So you made 4 Pro Bowls, but you played 16 years. So you only made 4 out of 16. It wasn't, you can't call that perennial Pro Bowl.
No.
Right?
No.
Okay. And how about 241 career interceptions? That's the most among all active quarterbacks right now. And how about the Giants hung on too long just because he was NFL royalty and they were waiting for one blast from the past, because his starting record since 2017 is 8-25.
Yeah.
8-25. I used to think he was a cowboy killer, but he ended up 13-17 against Dallas, and he lost his last 5 straight. Okay? So is that a Hall of Fame career? Well, if we take out the 2 Super Bowl runs, he was 0-4 in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Is that Hall of Fame?
No.
Well, I get your, just on legendariness.
Yes.
He beat Tom Brady twice in Super Bowls.
But what did they say, Skip? You cement your legacy in the playoffs.
I know. He did it.
But you look at the regular season, it leaves a lot to be desired.
I'd say.
He's 500. If he's 118, Skip, if he was 118 and 114,
right,
you can say at least he's over 500.
It makes you wonder, how did you keep your job this long? It's because of Archie, Eli, and 2 Brady Super Bowls, right?
Yeah, they kept hoping that he's going to But you know Eli. If Eli just get to the playoffs, Skip, they kept hoping for that magic to happen, for that lightning. Because it struck twice. They say lightning doesn't strike twice in the same place. Well, it did on him.
And by the way, he did make one throw in each Brady game that turned the game.
Yes.
He made one to David Tyree, and he made one to Mario Manningham.
But the Mario Manningham, Skip, that might have been the best throw of his career.
Okay. All right,
22 man, and he dropped it in there.
He dropped it down the chimney.
He did.
Like Santa Claus.
Yes.
Right? Whew.
Yes. But I mean, Skip, I wish I could say more, but he has that on his resume. That's what he has, Skip. If I say Eli Manning, he beat Tom Brady. Tom Brady's unbeatable in that game.
Unbeatable.
Nobody can beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. Eli did it twice. It's hard to find a quarterback that's beaten outside of his big brother that's beaten Tom Brady in a playoff game, let alone twice. Now, Joe Flacco did it in a divisional round early in this, I think it might have been the division, might have been the wild card round. Beat him in the wild card, beat him in the AFC Championship. But Skip, that's few and far between. And that man took him down in the ultimate game.
He did. Two close games.
And that's his resume. All this, Skip, nobody's going to mention that he's 116 and 116. No one's going to mention that he led the league in interception 3 times. No one's going to mention that he only made the Pro Bowl 4 times. What is it, 16
years?
Nobody's going to mention that.
Wow.
What's on his resume is at the top in big bold font. 2-time Super Bowl winning quarterback, also MVP in both of those games.
And yet, I've often watched him play, and I've wondered out loud on TV, does he even know where he is? Like, he seems to just sort of drift through games like Rain Man. Like he is, they've always said he has very high football IQ, but he seems oblivious to everything going on around him. And it's like, see receiver, throw football to receiver. Where am I? Oh, yeah, I'm playing for the Giants.
But his personality just seems so different than Peyton's. Peyton is like, seems to be, well, he is. He's like outgoing. But Eli is just like, I know they're brothers, but they're like polar opposites.
Polar opposites.
And Cooper's even more crazy. His personality.
The big person, huge person. The biggest personality of the 3
all of them.
is Cooper, to me, or as they say, Cooper.
It's fun on Sundays for us.
But the point is that Eli never said anything. He was always the nicest guy.
Yes.
You know, he was a good face of the franchise.
Yes.
He just wasn't very entertaining.
No.
He worked at saying nothing. I'm not sure he ever had a whole lot to say.
And maybe, Skip, this is why he survived
yes, he did.
as well as he did in New York.
In New York.
Because of the way he's wired, the way he's built. It seems like nothing bothers him.
Nothing.
It doesn't seem like he doesn't care if he's coming or going. Whatever. Oh, y'all said, when did they say that?
Huh?
Oh, they've been saying that all this time?
Criticizing him.
I've been to 16 years. I've never heard him say anything bad about me.
Eli, wake up.
Well, I asked Shannon in the commercial break, I said, don't you come to a point where you know you're just not doing it anymore?
You're the last to realize it.
Everybody
Everybody else can see it. Skip, you look at. I mean, I was watching myself on tape. I was like, damn, that tight end moving slow. And then all of a sudden, he turned around. He had on 84. I was like, that's me. I'm like, ooh.
You didn't say that.
Skip, I did, Skip. All of a sudden, Skip, the twitch wasn't there.
Yeah.
I mean, you step on the gas and be like, ooh, I think I'm running. No, you're not.
Yeah.
And Skip, it's hard when you've played at this level to come to grips with your own mortality, your professional mortality.
Yeah. But you know what? Knowing Eli's all-time survival ability, I will not be shocked if that kid takes this job and just stinks it up.
Eli back in there.
That's what I was worried about.
No, that Eli's starting next year.
No,
That's what I mean. I said that. I'm like, well, what if it's not the end?
In order for this guy to succeed, you're gonna have to move on from Eli. He can't, because he knows there's always a fallback plan. You got to know. Hey, you say you can swim, I got to throw you out there, Skip, and there's no life
you have a GM and a coach who basically bet their jobs on that kid.
Yes.
Because nobody was going to take that kid that high.
Yeah. Well, they better be right, because you remember in the preseason how Pat Sherman was talking. Oh, I know what we think.
Yeah.
You should ask the guys that was against it that what they think now.
Okay.
You better be right.
I wonder if Eli would go anywhere else. Would anybody even give him a shot? I don't know.
I mean, Eli's right behind Peyton as making the most money in NFL history.
Yeah.
So it's not a money issue. It's just whether or not he still wants to play. I believe he does.
Probably.
The Daniel Jones era has officially begun for the Giants, and we're going to be waiting to see what he does against the Bucs on Sunday. So a different quarterback to talk about, different start. Patrick Mahomes, has he already